My grandfather, Matt Moretti, grew up in San Francisco, California in the 1920s and 30s. He was only 18 when World War II began in 1939, which ended in 1945. However, U.S. involvement began after the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor, a naval base in Hawaii, on December 7, 1942. My grandfather was drafted and fought in the Pacific against the Japanese, specifically in Guam, where his job was to patrol for enemy landmines in the unknown Guam territory and to clear the way for U.S. military tanks. My grandfather tells me that fighting in World War II was the greatest and most moving thing he's ever done. After the war ended, he returned to San Francisco and he became the head athletic trainer for the University of the Pacific and the San Francisco 49ers football team during the 1960s. During team travels, he and his team experienced what the civil rights movement was like firsthand.
Then I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. There was a band of angels a-coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
When the team arrived at certain hotels that wouldn't allow African Americans in through the front door, he would personally take those players on the team through the back. And eventually, he was able to convince the team that if a hotel wouldn't allow certain players through the front, the whole team would walk in the back. Years later, my grandfather settled down with my grandmother, Maggie, in Stockton, California, and gave birth to my father, Mike, who was attending high school in the 1970s at Lincoln High School, just as the Vietnam War took place.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware.
My father was forced to register for the draft at the age of 16, very fearful that he would be deployed. But luckily, the war ended in 1975. By staying home, my father witnessed the flower power movement in full effect. My father graduated high school in 1975 and was headed to sunny Los Angeles, California to attend UCLA. As he arrived on campus, he heard the news of President Nixon and his involvement in the Watergate scandal. The talk around Westwood was Nixon's resignation, and the iconic image of President Nixon boarding Marine One is still widely remembered. Nixon still remains the only president to resign from office.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president